Jesus people. How is it not agreed upon that this is creepy and casts a pall over the rest of the game?
Imposing on a Japanese game with Western cultural imperialism is a-okay.
I work near the beach. See this stuff almost every day. I really don't understand the fuss. Are you scared you're going to feel attracted to a 13-year-old? What is it?
Cultural relativism in favor of pedophilia. What's next? Defending female circumcision? Stoning adulterers. After all, it's someone's culture somewhere.
Let's face it, guys, girls in bikinis are disgusting even if it's optional. We have to let our kids play socially acceptable games, like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Mortal Kombat X.
You can disagree with something and still support the creator's right to have it in the game. I will defend any artist's right to sexualize a 13-year-old, promote homophobia/transphobia, promote racism, promote sexism, or any other horrible thing.
Okay. You had me going there for the first part. The second half kind of threw me.
Ever stop to think that most of them are 13 to 16-year-olds?
Ever stop to think that taking this idea to its logical conclusion would lead to awful results?
GTA V, you can kill people in a game? No big deal. Just a game. X, 13-year-old boobs? Not okay.
Damn man. I saw you two. Able to fantasize 13 years old robot girl like a real person. Now that's alone take huge amount of effort. Respect.
You clearly know nothing about pedophilia. I've seen the pics of them. Those that ain't pedophile bait. Generally 13-year-olds are way too old for pedophiles as they're like little kids, not teens with tits.
Oh, I love being this guy. Pedophilia doesn't kick in until about age 15. This is still pedophilia.
Well, you've already shown yourself to have an incredibly haughty, imperialistic mindset in previous posts. And good job, compare your moral crusade against fictionalized sexualization of 13-year-olds, quote, to real-life issues like female circumcision and stoning adulterers.
Hey, genius. This game is marketed towards teens, not adults. Adults were not the primary demographic in mind when this game was being made.
ITT. The same logic as murdering in a video game makes you a murderer in real life. Die in a video game mean die in real life. Damn good concept comparison. Applauded.
Get a life. Holy crap. I think you're trying a little too hard to get attention.
Lim defenders at least admit this. The reason for her inclusion was so that adult men could get off to their fantasies of having sex with an underage girl.
Considering an optional outfit has absolutely nothing to do with her place in the story of the game. No.
Admit to this. Do I die in a video game mean I die in real life? Your comparison is so dumb and full of hole.
And I'm just going to try an opposite strategy from everyone else in here to combat the topic creator. So maybe we are defending the sexualizing of a 13-year-old. And what is inherently wrong with that?
Most of them are 13, so it's nothing they don't already do in their head. Swimsuits aren't sexual. Do you get a hard-on from seeing little girls in swimsuits at the beach or something?
Don't like it? Then get out of gaming, because we don't want you in our hobby.
Give her a school swimsuit. An delicious lolly.
You'll need Jesus.
While I do agree that we should have certain laws, it's a very philosophical debate. America is stupid. Strict laws on sexual crimes, yet there is no outlet for men, like there is in most of the world, and like there has been for most of history. Prostitution is the oldest profession, but in America, if you are born ugly or just socially awkward, or perhaps even just very unlucky, you can become weird. That's how it usually happens. So their laws and rules literally create these people, and then punish them for it.
Are you seriously trying to claim that sexual assault is somehow the natural and understandable consequence of not having an outlet? Because I'm not sure I can adequately describe how incomprehensibly disgusting and wrong that claim is.
Doesn't have to be sexual assault, but sure. Of course, there could be many reasons for why somebody might do that, but it would be very ignorant to say that couldn't be one of them. What are the repercussions though? Or would you claim there are none whatsoever? That would also be ignorant. I'm sorry that you are incomprehensibly disgusted. Are you okay? That must be a really terrible feeling.
Also, after studies debunk the claims that video games turn us into villain criminals and debunk the claims that they turn us into racist/sexist. They are now claiming that they turn us into pedos. Why don't you go back to your pedophile universities, quote?
Sure, no problem with Call of Duty making war look fun and attractive. Or GTA make crime look the same. There's a thing called cultural differences. If you're unwilling to accept them, there is nothing to be done.
Females shouldn't be allowed to grow boobs. See how angry they've made the TC.
I'm bored of talking about Lynn's boobs. Can we go back to her face, please?
I'd rather talk about her feet.
To anyone who agrees with TC, I have a question. When you see children in a beach wearing swimsuits, do you immediately think about sex? If the answer is yes, please go see a psychiatrist. You're a pedophile. Normal people understand that there is nothing sexual about a kid wearing a swimsuit.
Indeed, plus there's a ton of kids on this board. Why impose your age restrictions on them? Stop being a close-minded prude. Lighten up, it's just a game.
While TC is overreacting, I have to say that there is a suspicious amount of defense in this threat.
Against absurd accusations, there will be always a rabid defense. You expect Monolith fans to have their favorite developers being called pedophiles and defense it with reason? You surely don't know people.
Meanwhile, in an alternate universe, Xenoblade Chronicles X is sexist. Only the male characters can be put into bathing suits. Have you ever been to a beach or a department store? Because people of all ages wear bikinis, including females.
What's wrong with being attracted to pretty girls regardless of their age? Nobody's raping that girl.
You do realize that 13-year-olds getting married and pounded is a normal thing in other cultures, right?
Human beings are sexual beings. The end. There is no debate on that. Especially by 13, where they are well into puberty and developing many adult sexual characteristics. The sexual is not bad or harmful, thus sexualization is not bad or harmful, unless it is forced against the will of the one being sexualized. Most people like being sexy and attractive. Most people like when other people find their bodies appealing to look at. No matter the age, gender, race, etc. What's annoying me is this puritanical attitude being spread.
Let me know when you have a 13-year-old daughter, and you're okay with grown men gawking at her in front of you.
Tell me why one is supposed to be mad that someone finds a person attractive? If my daughter is enjoying the attention, why should I care? And if she isn't, I can empower her to ask people to stop staring at her. Sexuality is healthy and great.
Puritans FTW. The world so totally needs a 16th century revival.
Well, it's been pushed strongly ever since the sexual revolution under the guise of protecting children.
Who decides what age is appropriate for consent? Just because one law says 13 and another says 21, why does that make one more right than the other? Because that's what you believe, and you believe your opinion should be all that matters. Technically speaking, natural evolution has determined that girls should be capable of pregnancy by the age of 13, so when you boil it down to its basest nature, there should be nothing wrong with sexual consent with a 13-year-old girl. That doesn't change the fact that you still can't molest or rape a girl against her will, but if she were to consent to the act and go along with it willingly, who are you to say it's wrong?
Well, yeah. How else do you expect to protect them our children from devil? Lucifer himself wants to eat your flesh. You can't be letting him do that now, can ye? Ah well, simmer down now. Don't let them demons be biting at your ankles. Praise be to the Lord. We got a kettle a brewing and some mighty stew on the fire. Let's pray.
If it is a mutually consensual interaction, yes, I say go for it. However, I am not arguing for pure anything goes with consent society. I do feel if a minor is involved, the parent can end the relationship, and if the other adult ignores that, then they can be prosecuted. So a minor's consent would need to be backed up by guardian consent. Both must exist or the interaction would be illegal.
I just turned 25 myself, and I personally would never want to have a 12 or 13-year-old, but I find my personal tastes tend lay in the 16 to 20 range myself.
What are you doing here?
Hanging out.
Hanging out?
Yes.
And how old was this person we're talking to?
She said she was 13, but...
She said she was 13. And how old are you?
I'm 29.
29.
Yes.
Can I rape you anally?
Mm-hmm.
How do you come up with that?
A guy-to-guy thing here, okay?
Guy-to-guy.
Yeah. Or like we all have our fetishes, okay?
What the hell?
With regards to the GF turning 18 and you being 27 thing, Either you are doing horrible in life at an age of 27, or your GF has rich parents, and you want some inheritance.
I have a master's degree and live in my own house. A crummy small house, but you got to start somewhere. I don't need another person's inheritance. We just genuinely like each other. I know it is hard for you to understand, because you probably aren't all that likable, but hey, some of us are happy.
Who cares what is and isn't illegal? Anyone that would plow a kid is disgusting.
Yes, and your opinion should not dictate everyone's life. And plow? You could never please any female.
Literally will not purchase this game if they remove these costume options. When are the pedos going to act against the oppression? Remember, gays were oppressed. When are the pedos going to fight for their rights? You're born gay just like you're born a pedo. America, the land of hypocrites.
Discrimination against real people, naming them pedo, is worse than asking for censorship for a fictional character in an unporn game. See how their justice is biased, how the feelings of other real people doesn't matter to them? I hate people who doesn't care for others.
I don't care for gays or pedos. I lump them as one in a group I don't care about. Just funny how those two groups are actually pretty similar.
/popcorn. Abort. Abort.
I am not a fucking pedophile! Fuck! Ah!